Hello and welcome back to the Daylight Midnight Show. My name is Greg, and if you don't think it's too late for me to say it, Happy New Year. I haven't been completely idle over the Christmas and New Year period. I've been working very hard on some very expensive title cards to open the show. I've also written a theme song which sounds like this.
It's the Daylight Midnight Show.
So if you put those two things together and edit them slightly, we come up with some Daylight Midnight Show opening credits that look like this.
It's the Daylight Midnight Show.
So that is how every show of Series 2 is going to start. It's a brand new show, it's a brand new year, so we're starting with a clean slate, which means there's nothing on the Door of Delights, except there is. For hark, what is this I see pinned up here? Why, it's only this week's topical limerick. In the UK, it's Stay at Home 3. How long will it last? Well, we'll see. When it's over, we'll sing. But the really bad thing is you've now got more time to watch me. I'll give that a C+, I think. So I want to put some stuff up on the Door of Delights to start Series 2. Pogo Dave Penguin, the Galapagos penguin, is staying as the mascot of the show, so we need to give him pride of place. So I think I'm going to stick him just about there. We've also printed off another Seagulls logo because we did make the commitment that Brighton and Hove Albion, we were going to support them right through the Premier League season, which the way things are looking might not finish until about Christmas 2023, but we are going to keep following them, so we will put that there. And I've reprinted the house rules. It was looking a bit shabby before. The rules haven't changed at all. I've printed off a new version. And I did think, with it being the start of a new series, it might be worth going through these again, because I haven't gone over them for a while. So just to let you know the 5 rules that I follow that kind of form the structure to how this show is going to go every week. Rule number 1, no episode will be over 10 minutes long, so we set the countdown timer. When that goes off, the show is over. Rule number 2 is no drink or drugs. That's just for me. You can do whatever you like. Rule 3, this show will be family friendly, so no swearing, nothing controversial. I want this to be something you can watch with your children. Rule number 4 is no editing. So the actual body of the show itself, once I sit here and start recording, we don't stop, we don't go back. When I say the word recording wrong, I don't give it another go. Whatever happens is what you will see on YouTube. And rule number 5, which to me is the most important one, I will not take this seriously. I don't want this to become something where I use it as a soapbox. There's enough rubbish going on in the world and enough people making comments about it without me going on about it here every week. So this show is primarily just going to be about me and you, and hopefully about me making you smile. So the house rules will go up there on the panel on the left. And a couple of minutes into the first show, and the Door of Delights version 2 is already taking shape. Now, you probably noticed that I've kind of let myself go a bit over the last couple of weeks. I haven't shaved, haven't done anything with my hair, and I'm kind of regretting not seeing the hairdresser before the lockdown started because I haven't got a chance to go and have a chat now. The situation is this. I'm really in the mood to grow my hair a bit longer so I can do something different with it, and I'm in the mood to grow a beard as well because it's very cold, we're in the middle of winter, and it's nice to have that extra warmth. But they've both got to the point where they're really, really annoying me. So the beard is getting itchy and very untidy. The hair, I don't know what to do with. Do I slick it back like this? Do I start to give it a bit of a quiff? Do I try and form it going around the sides and let it grow a bit more? I've got these weird bits sticking out over the side of my ears. So we haven't got any hairdressers to go and have a conversation with, so I really don't know what to do. Because I'm getting to the stage where I'm fed up with it and I just want to hack it off myself. So I then started thinking, well, maybe there's a medical side, a scientific reason why it's a good idea to have a beard. You know, there's these playful viruses around at the moment, and maybe a beard can trap some of those particles and stop you getting ill. So I thought I'd do some research. So I've looked up a few things about beards. Now, the study of beards is called pogonology. So presumably, if you have a fear of beards, you're pogonophobic. There have been loads of studies done. The most recent one was in 2013 by Dixon and Brooks. And in that study, they discovered that women view men with beards as looking older, looking as if they come from a higher social standing, and they possibly think they might be more aggressive as well. Looking more historically, Peter the Great, who was emperor of Russia around 1700, said the beard is a useless burden, and he hated them so much that if you wanted to grow one in Russia, you had to pay 100 rubles a year and be given a license that let you grow one. He hated them, and maybe he had a point, because 98% of men who have appeared on the annual Forbes 100 rich list have been clean shaven. A couple of other studies I found. There was a study done by the University of Southern Queensland showing that facial hair can block up to 95% of the sun's harmful UV rays. So if you have a beard, you're less likely to get sunburn, you're less likely to develop skin cancer later in life, and your skin will age on your face slower than other people, so you won't get those horrible lines that I'm starting to get around my face. Another study showed that beards can trap harmful bacteria that might lead to respiratory infections, and the fact that you're not shaving means you're not scraping bacteria around your skin and you're not opening the pores with the razor for that bacteria to get into. So if you suffer from things like acne, you're actually better off growing a beard. And another study said that beards and moustaches are good for hay fever sufferers, as they can trap a lot of the pollen that you might otherwise have inhaled. Similar story for dust allergies as well. So with me getting hay fever from tree pollen, which normally starts about March, if I let this grow now, it may mean that I won't suffer so much when it gets to March time. So maybe that's a little experiment we can do as well. But you know what? After reading all that, I still couldn't decide whether to get a haircut, whether to get my beard shaved or not. So I've decided to let randomness decide in the way we normally do with Outfit Roulette. So for 1 week only, we're going to play something that I'm calling Appearance Roulette. So I have written here a little list that I hope you can see. So we're going to use the dice to decide what I'm going to do with my beard. There are 6 options. So number 1 is just let it grow. Number 2 is tidy it up a little bit. Number 3 is trim it right down to about 2 millimeters. Number 4 is go for some kind of goatee action. Number 5 is just leave it as a moustache, and number 6 is to go for a full shave. I wanted to do it for my hair as well, but I couldn't come up with 6 options. So I was going to toss a coin and have cut it or leave it, and then have cut the sides and back, or do it all over. But then I decided I'm going to use one of my juggling balls, because there are 4 colours on this, and if I throw it like this and spin it, when it lands, it'll randomise the colour. So we've got 4 options for the hair. If this lands with blue sticking up, I'm going to let it keep growing. If it lands with green, I'm going to cut it with scissors. Red means I will do it down to grade 4, but only around the sides and back, and leave the top. And if it lands orange, there isn't an orange on here. Yellow. So orange means yellow. I'm going to do it grade 4 all over, so you'll see me next week with completely short hair. And I'm going to stick to this in time for next week's show. So however this turns out is exactly what I'm going to do for my appearance for next week. So we will start with, let's start with the hair. We'll go from the top down. So I'm going to do a couple of practice spins just to see that I can do this, so you can see it on the camera. That landed with all 4 colours sticking up. So if I do it that way, there's not much of it showing either. So that one is quite clearly red. So that's the practice throw. We'll do one more practice throw. That would be yellow. So this is it. Blue is keep growing. Green is cut with scissors. Red is grade 4 just at the sides and back. Yellow is grade 4 all over. And it's going to be blue, which is let it keep growing. The decision has been made. So let's move down to the beard then. Let it grow, tidy up, trim to 2 millimeters, go to moustache or shave. I'm just going to do a couple of practice rolls. So that would be number 3. I'm just trying to see if you can see it. That's number 4, so it shows you the dice isn't loaded. So this is the one that decides what my beard is going to look like. Quick roll there. And it is number 3. And number 3 is that I'm going to trim it down to 2 millimeters. I'll just show you that that is the number 3. I will show you the list again to show you that number 3 does indeed say trim to 2 millimeters. That's what I will look like next week. The hair, I'm afraid, is going to stay as it is. Next week, show 2, we'll bring back Outfit Roulette. We'll try and introduce some new features as well. We'll leave it there for now. A rhyming couplet to end the show on. The ball and dice decided how I'll have my hair and beard. But let's face it, whatever look I go for, I end up looking bloody weird. I will see you next week. Have a great 7 days.